we are on the book of Daniel. This is one guy I cannot wait to meet when we get to heaven. I mean, I'm always wondering, like, are these, prophetic guys up in heaven going, man, I can't wait to meet her, or I can't wait to meet him. Well, maybe not. But I'm going to wrestle him down and have a good conversation with Daniel. All right, author. Daniel's named as the author of his own book in chapter 9. And also Jesus refers to Daniel as the author in Matthew 24. Date written. The book of Daniel was written between 540 and 530 BC. Purpose of writing. Well, Daniel was another one of those guys who teaches us, even when you're in captivity, you can do all kinds of awesome things for God and for yourself. He was in a Babylonian captivity, and he got to serve in the royal court of Nebuchadnezzar, and it is there in the middle of all of those trials that he got to record some of the most encouraging prophecies and visions that we still cling to today. Key verses, well, I think one of my favorite verses in the whole Bible is in Daniel 10. Daniel's been fasting for 21 days. He's been praying for his nation, and all of a sudden this angel just shows up on the scene and tells him, and this is my verse in Daniel 10, he says, "Then he continued, 'Do not be afraid, Daniel, since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to them.'" Now he goes on to say in verse 13, we don't even have time for this, but he says, "The prince of Persia withstood me." He's not talking about the king's son. He's talking about a principality, a demonic principality over this region. The book of Daniel is fascinating. It's so fascinating. But I'm encouraged all the time by chapter 10, verse 12, because he is saying to Daniel, hey, I've heard your prayer all this time. I've been trying to get to you. I've been fighting my way through the heavenlies trying to get to you. So that is why that verse is one of my key verses. Practical application. Look, the book of Daniel is home to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, three guys that stood for what they believed in. Daniel and the lion's den, that whole story. I think if you can get anything out of the book of Daniel, it would be two things. Become very keenly aware of the heavenly realm around you. I was going to say above you, but we live in the middle of this. If your eyes could see the swords that clash around you and the things that your prayers are doing, your faith would really grow. Well, there wouldn't be a need for faith if it was sight. But keep that in mind about the book of Daniel. And then also that just like Ezekiel and just like Jeremiah, you can bloom and blossom between a rock and a hard place. Daniel was in captivity, and yet he's a hero. He had visions that still speak to us today, and you're all naming your kids after him, so he did something right. I am enjoying looking at the major prophets. Again, these are men that I can't wait to meet in heaven, and we will have conversations with them, and I have a lot to ask him about this very topic in Daniel 10. All right, I'm Laura Harris Smith. I will see you next time on today's Daily Pin Code.